All right, we should be live now. What's going on, guys? Here to break down the short five-game Sunday slate. We got 30 minutes to lock, so let's not waste any time. We'll go over what we know so far. We can look at some numbers. We can look at players and their prices. I'll give you guys my core guys I'm kind of looking for cash games. And then we can get to some questions at the end. So, yeah, let's not waste any time. Let's jump into it. So, Alex Len available to play. Trae Young actually got ruled out earlier. So, that's huge news. It now makes Brandon Goodwin probably the top value of the slate. Also, John Collins becomes very, very appealing. So, those two Atlanta guys probably going to be in my core with Goodwin, with Collins. Really like both them. Let's talk about some other guys here. A lot of this stuff was for the early slate, so bear with me here as I scroll through. Kyrie available to play. We haven't heard anything of a minutes limit. At 9.4, I know it's a great matchup, but I don't think we have to go there today. Let's see. Again, some of the stuff is... Oh, so Damian Lee, this is actually pretty big. I already talked about liking D'Angelo Russell a lot. I like Draymond Green, and now I like Alec Burks a good amount. With no Damian Lee, there's just more minutes stuck around. So Burks, D'Angelo Russell, Draymond Green really stand out to me on the Golden State side in a really good matchup. Again, no Trae Young, that's huge. Goodwin and Collins are my main focuses right now on the Atlanta side. You could argue, Kevin Huerter or maybe Alex Len too, but it's really Goodwin and it's Collins I want to start my lineups with there for Atlanta. Amari Spellman going to remain in the starting lineup. He's been a pretty solid value, so I actually do like him as well. There's 4 Golden State guys that have a good amount of interest in on the slate. Let's see. Yeah, so Hawks starting Goodwin, Huerter, Reddish, Hunter, and Collins. Not a whole lot of interest there in Reddish and Hunter for me, but Collins, Goodwin. Don't mind Huerter. Don't mind Alex Len off the bench. Let's see. Other news. Spurs starting Murray, Furbs, DeRozan, Lyles Aldridge. That's kind of expected. So the Nets are doing something a little different, starting Dinwiddie next to Kyrie. So Kyrie, Dinwiddie, Harris, Prince, Allen. It just makes it tricky, the Nets' prices in the slate. Like, I like more the Atlanta side for sure. But okay, let's take a look at some numbers here really quick, and then we can get to talk about the players I'm kind of targeting here. So we got the Hawks and the Nets right now sitting at 225.5. Nets are by 9.5 points. Now, yeah, like there's definitely a little bit of risk here. So sure, the game could blow out. John Collins could only play 3 quarters. That's definitely a possibility. Talked about that with the Pelicans last night, right? I was pretty high in Ingram. Unfortunately, the game blew out, so only played 3 quarters. This is another situation, a little bit risky for sure. Like there's definitely a little bit of blowout risk. We have Golden State and Memphis, 225.5. Memphis are by 7. We have the Spurs and the Raptors sitting at 221. The Raptors are favored by 5.5. We have the Hornets and the Suns sitting at 218. The Suns are by 8.5 points. And the late night hammer here, this one should be fun to watch. Really excited to watch this one. Clippers, Nuggets, 222 with the Clippers favored by 1. Okay, let's do it. Again, we're kind of a little bit more short on time, so let's go team by team here. We'll start with the Spurs and the Raptors. Yeah, so the Raptors are getting back Siakam. The Spurs, it's a tough spot on this slate. No one really stands out, right? If you're a big guy into revenge game narratives, you could look to DeRozan, but he's getting priced up now where he's more price appropriate in my opinion. Aldridge is always fine for cash games at 7.3, but I really don't think he stands out as like a great play. DeJounte Murray again at 5.6. He's never going to play the big minutes. That's the downside with him. Rudy Gay, don't mind him as a value of 4.6. He's been getting low to mid 20s minutes, but still, like nothing really sticks off to the page for me, at least in the Spurs. So right now, I'm doing a full fade of this game. Don't have a whole lot of interest here in the Spurs. Again, I'm fine if you land a DeRozan or Aldridge, but they don't really stick off. Don't really stick off for me. And then if we look to the Raptors side, so yeah, Siakam coming back definitely is a big hit to everyone, especially Ibaka. Siakam's going to be limited, so you can't play him himself. It really, him being back just kind of takes Toronto all out of play for me. We also have Norm Powell coming back. That definitely takes those other guys like McCaw, Davis completely out of play. Lowry will still play the big minutes, but with Siakam back in the lineup, not as much usage. So yeah, it's a decent spot here for sure against the Spurs, but Siakam and Powell coming back kind of just mucks everything up, and yeah, so I'll be fading this first game. I have no interest, or I wouldn't say I have no interest, but I am not playing anyone in this first game here with the Spurs and the Raptors. Now let's talk about Atlanta, Brooklyn. So there's a lot more I like here in this game, especially on the Atlanta side. A Goodwin at min price, he's going to start for Trae Young. I see no reason to fade him. I think he probably gets 25 to 30 minutes, somewhere in that range. And at min price, he has flash upside. Again, I really don't see a reason to fade him. I will definitely eat the chalk there with him. And then also John Collins really stands out. With no Trae Young, his usage should go up. Now the concern with him is the minutes have been not as high recently, right? 30, 33, 28. It would be nice if he was playing like in the mid-30s minutes, but either way, again, he's going to have to do a lot more offensively here. The matchup's pretty solid here against Brooklyn, too, who do play at a faster pace, especially with Kyrie now back in the lineup. So, yeah, really like Goodwin, really like Collins. Those guys really stand out to me. I'm fine with Kevin Huerter as well, who's been solid this year. It's just, how many Hawks do you want in your lineup? Again, I would try to prioritize Goodwin and Collins, kind of like I was prioritizing Rondo and Kuzma the other night. But last night, I was like, if you want to play another Laker, you can. Huerter would probably be the number 3 guy if I was going to play him, or if I was going to play a third Hawk. He has flash upside. He should do, again, he should be asked to do more offensively with no Trae Young, so I'm fine with him there. Also, don't hate Alex Len off the bench at 5.2. He's not going to play the big minutes, but right around 25, he can get you, 25, 35 fancy points. So I'm okay with him as well. Hunter and Reddish, not really for me. I'm not going to chase that Cam Reddish game. So yeah, really my main interest here is Goodwin, and it's John Collins on the Atlanta side. And I like both those guys a lot here. If we talk about Brooklyn, it's just a tricky spot here. It's a really, really good matchup, but Kyrie coming back, it really takes a hit to everyone. Dinwiddie's going to start alongside him, but playing with Kyrie in that offense really caps his upside, in my opinion. I'm not going to go there. Kyrie's is priced too high, in my opinion. We don't really know how many minutes he's going to play. If I had to guess, I would say, mid to high 20s. And there's just no way I can play him at this price. Like, I don't see Kyrie coming out and playing 35 minutes in his first game in 2 months. So, yeah, I would say, some like 25 to 28 minutes is probably a good guess there for Kyrie's minutes, and I can't play him at that price. And that just takes the other guys out of play, completely takes the secondary pieces out of play. LeVert coming out the bench. He's been getting eased back into it too. I want to see him play more into like the 30s minutes, so he's okay, but it doesn't really stand out either. Allen and Jordan are always fine for GPPs, but they split their center minutes. So, yeah, I feel like I should like more in Brooklyn, but Kyrie coming back really just messes everything up, and no one really stands out. So, I definitely like it a lot more there on the Atlanta side. But let's move on now to Golden State and Memphis. So, Golden State, probably my favorite team to target here. I like them a lot. So, D'Angelo Russell coming back. Let's first just talk about him. He's been dealing with a shoulder injury. He's missed, 4 or 5 or something. He's been out since, before New Year's. I really like him. We haven't heard anything of a minutes limit. I think, on the low end, he probably gets close to 30. On the high end, he could push 35 minutes. That's just my best guess. Again, it's a shoulder injury. It's not like an ankle or a lower body injury where they might limit his minutes. I think he should be good to go unless we hear otherwise. So that's, I assume, again, probably 30 to 35 minutes. This is one of the best possible matchups. Love his price here. So D'Angelo Russell, also one of my favorite plays there. And I do really like Alec Burks here at 5.4. No Damian Lee, surprisingly. So he was a guy that was playing right around 30 or so minutes. I think some go to Draymond. I think some go to Alec Burks. Maybe a little bit to Glenn Robinson. But yeah, I think Alec Burks, even with D'Angelo Russell in the lineup, does have upside. He's going to shoot the ball a ton. I think I don't think we've gotten a Golden State starting lineup yet. Let me confirm that, actually. Let me check Fantasy Labs really quick. I'm curious to see if they will start him or not. We do not yet, or at least I don't see one. We have the Grizzlies, Morant, Brooks, Crowder, JJJ, and Jonas Valanciunas. We have the Nets and the Spurs. I don't see one yet for Golden State. We should get it very, very soon because this is an early game. I'd expect Burks to start, even if he comes off the bench. I just like him a lot here. Again, he's going to be kind of the number 2 in the offense there. Yeah, really like Burks as well. And I also like Draymond Green a good amount, at 5.1. Maybe gets a little extra run there with no Damian Lee. Again, this matchup against Memphis is really good. So those 3 I have a lot of interest in. And I also like Amari Spellman as a value play. He's going to continue to start. Now, his minutes have been a little bit more up and down, but he got 28 that last time out. Again, he's been good offensively. So those 4 guys I have a lot of interest in. D'Angelo Russell, Burks, Draymond Green, and Amari Spellman. And I like all 4 of those guys a good amount. Glenn Robinson at 4.4 is okay too. It'd probably be my 5th favorite guy, but I'm fine if you land on him, if you feel good about him. His price is very affordable as well. As far as everyone else, Cauley Stein at 4.1, that's probably pushing it. His minutes have been a little bit more up and down. I don't know if I can trust that. No Kai Bowman, so don't play him either. Again, that kind of just solidifies minutes. Is Kai Bowman being out? He played right around 20 or so. Some might say that's not really a big deal. It kind of is, because those guard minutes have to go somewhere. Damian Lee's 30 minutes have to go somewhere. So I think D'Angelo Russell, 30 to 35 minutes. I think Burks, Green, and Robinson and Spellman should get a good run as well. So I like a lot of Golden State today. Definitely probably my favorite team to target for this short 5-game slate. Now let's talk about Memphis. There's a decent amount to like here in Memphis too. This game is definitely game stackable. A lot of guys cheap. You could run, you could realistically run like 6 or 7 guys in this game. I wouldn't hate that idea, just going like a full game stack. John Morant, his price is coming up, but he's been playing well the last couple games. 31, 34 minutes, 40 and 56 fantasy points. Golden State as a team defensively, not very good. So I'm okay with John Morant at that price. I'm okay with Jaren Jackson Jr., who's been staying out of foul trouble besides that last game against the Spurs. But other than that, he's been getting minutes into the 30s. The upside is there for him, so I'm okay with that. Probably my favorite play here would be Jonas Valanciunas at 6.3K. Now, the issue with him is he is a little bit up and down. The minutes are a little bit up and down. But at 6.3, I just like the upside here at this price, especially going up against Golden State's front court. So I do have a good amount of interest here in Jonas Valanciunas. Again, his minutes a little bit fluky, but I think even if he has a floor game, even if he plays like 22, 23 minutes and has a floor game of like 25 or so, that's not really going to kill you. But we know JV does have upside games. Like, he can take over a game and put up over 50 fantasy points. So I do like his upside a good amount there at that price. I'm okay with Dylan Brooks as well as been getting big run. He had a big game last time out, 44 fantasy points. My issue with him is he doesn't get the peripheral stats a whole lot, a little bit scoring dependent, and the price is coming up right to 5.8. Like, I think I would prefer Jonas Valanciunas definitely to Dylan Brooks there. So the secondary piece is not really for me there on the Memphis side. So really, it's those 3 guys at the top with John Morant, JJJ, and Jonas Valanciunas. And I think Jonas Valanciunas would be my favorite play for his price. So now let's talk about Clippers and Denver. So on the Clippers side, it's pretty simple. No Paul George. It's Kawhi, it's Lou Williams, and Montrez. And I like all 3 a decent amount, even in a tough spot against Denver on the road. We just saw Cleveland put up a big, I believe they beat Denver, last night? Let me confirm that, but I believe Cleveland scored a lot and beat Denver last night. They did. They put up 111 against Denver, the Cleveland Cavaliers. So this is obviously a much better team here in the Clippers who, with no Paul George, there's a lot of usage to go around. So I like Kawhi a lot as this bend up. He's been playing the big minutes too, right? Don't be worried about that 25 against Detroit. That was a blowout. 38, 35, and 38 minutes last 3 games. So I have a lot of interest there in Kawhi, even in a tougher spot. I do like Lou Williams a lot too. His minutes are going up 35 and 31 in back-to-back games. We know Lou can get hot too any single game. So you got to have interest there at that price. I also do like Montrez. My slight concern with him is, maybe they run Zubac more against Jokic. Maybe he matches up better. Or the Clippers could just say, screw it, we're running a small ball and throw Montrez out there to guard Jokic. I could see both happening. So that is the slight concern with Montrez, but at 6.1, that's a very, very fair price for him. So I think he stands out as a good option as well. And I also don't mind Pat Beverly as a value play at 4.8. It's just tricky because there's a lot of good guard plays, but I think he is a pretty solid value option as well. Probably gets 30 to 35 minutes. As far as the value guys, like JaMychal Green at 4.2 is listed as questionable. If he can't go, maybe a little more extra run for Montrez or a guy like Mo Harkless. But I don't think these secondary pieces are very, very low usage for the Clippers, so I don't really have a whole lot of interest there. It's really, the 4 guys, I guess. So with Kawhi, Lou Williams, Montrez, and Pat Beverly, I think all 4 stand out as pretty good options. Now let's talk about Denver. So we got Jokic at the top. Again, he's the most frustrating player to roster, in my opinion, for DFS this year. So up and down. But at this price at 8.8, I think he does stand out as a pretty good option. It's a close call for me, really, with do I want to spend up for Kawhi or do I want to spend up for Jokic? It is really close. I think I might slightly give the edge to Kawhi, but it's a close one. If you feel more strongly about Jokic, that's completely fine too. You could always play both too. There's enough value, I think. So I do like Jokic a decent amount there at 8.8. Again, he's a little bit more up and down there, though, as opposed to Kawhi, a little bit more consistent. Will Barton at 7.2, we know he's going to play the big minutes, right? Probably 35 plus. He's a guy that's getting the peripheral stats as well. I'm okay with him. I think Jamal Murray does stand out a good amount as well at this price. Now, He's also a little bit more up and down, but at this price point, at 6.4, even if he has a floor game, right, I don't think he's going to kill you, and he can get 50, even 60 on a good night. So we know the upside's there, kind of like Jonas Valanciunas, right? Both those guys are a little bit more inconsistent, but the upside is massive on both of them. So I do like Jamal Murray a good amount at his price. Grant with Millsap out, probably not for me. He's priced accordingly. I don't hate Mason Plumlee off the bench. He will get a little extra run there with no Millsap, probably closer to 20 minutes. I'm okay with him as a value play. But that's really it there for Denver. So all in all, I think it's Jokic and Jamal Murray that stand out for me on the Denver side. Don't mind Will Barton either at that price. And then I'm okay with Mason Plumlee as a value play. Last game here, Charlotte and Phoenix. So this game's tricky. This is a game where I think it flies under the radar. There's always like one game that I talk about. They're like, yeah, I think this game kind of flies under the radar. 2 nights ago, it was San Antonio and Memphis. Last night, it was Milwaukee and Portland. Again, that game, Giannis was not high owned. He was like 20% owned. Bledsoe was pretty low owned. Lillard not that high owned. This is the game where if you want a low ownership game that could go off, this is the one. Now, I currently don't have anyone in this game, and I'm a little bit concerned about it because I think this game could turn into a shootout. Phoenix plays at a fast pace. Charlotte, not so much, but they're very bad defensively. Now, my main share on the Charlotte side is always the 2 guards, and both their prices of it are priced about right here. Rozier, 7.1. He's going to play the big minutes. Again, don't be too concerned about that 31 minutes that they're against Utah. That game blew out. And Devontae Graham's price came way down after that blowout, only playing 25 minutes. So I think him and Rozier do stand out as pretty good options at their respective prices. The secondary pieces, Bridges has been good recently. I'm not chasing that. I would just much prefer Graham. I'd much prefer Rozier, whose minutes are more locked in. PJ Washington, not for me. Don't mind Biyombo as a value play. Phoenix runs big, right? They have Ayton. They have Baines. So this is a game where Biyombo could get into the 30s minutes. I would not be surprised at all. He's not a guy that has huge upside, but a 4.3K, I'm perfectly fine with him as a value. Cody Zeller, more the GPP play, right? He's not going to get as many minutes, but he's the more productive player. So I'm okay taking a shot at him at 3.9K. Again, Phoenix does run big. Maybe he gets a few extra minutes. And that's basically it. So it's Rozier and Graham who are like a good amount there at their prices. And I also kind of like the bigs with Biyombo and Cody Zeller going up against a big front court there for Phoenix. So those guys do stand out as pretty solid value plays in my opinion. Again, Biyombo being more of the cash game play. He'll probably get more minutes, whereas Zeller is the more productive guy getting less minutes, more the GPP option. Let's talk about Phoenix here, and then we'll get to questions. So Phoenix is always a team that I do like targeting for DFS because their minutes are pretty locked in right now. Booker has been amazing. His price came, or I guess it stayed the same at 8.4K. Almost 40 minutes a game. He's shooting the ball a ton. Again, this matchup, Charlotte, not very good defensively. So I do like Devin Booker a good amount of his price. I like Ayton. I would like him more if he starts. He came off the bench that last game, only played 30 minutes. Either way, bigs against Charlotte has been a thing this year, so if Ayton starts, I would have more interest in him. I don't mind Rubio and Oubre who are getting mid-30s minutes. Again, the minutes with these starters are really, really secure. Baines, that's probably pushing at a 4.6. His minutes have been going down, so I don't know if I want to go there. A GPP flyer, if you're going way stars and scrubs, is a guy like Dario Saric who started the last game. If he starts again, I'd assume he gets right around 20. Again, he's been pretty bad recently, not getting a lot of run, but I guess I don't hate taking a shot there if you're going more stars and scrubs. But that's really it. So really the main interest there is Booker and Ayton. I'm fine with Rubio and Oubre in the mid-range there as well. And then if you want to get really risky and go like stars and scrubs, you could consider Saric if he starts. If he comes out the bench, I just wouldn't even consider him because the minutes have been way down on him. But yeah, let me check Fantasy Labs one more time here, see if we get that Golden State starting lineup, and then we'll get to questions here at the end. Okay, so yep, Golden State starting D'Angelo Russell, Alec Burks, Glenn Robinson, Draymond Green, and Spellman. They're starting Spellman at the 5. So yeah, I like the whole starting 5 there for Golden State, especially D'Angelo Russell and Alec Burks, who I think have huge upside. I also like Draymond Green and Spellman as value plays, so definitely my favorite team there is the Golden State Warriors. But okay, let's get to some questions here. Again, if you guys enjoy this content, all free content with videos, live streams, would appreciate if you hit that thumbs up. But okay, let's do it. So Burks is better off the bench. That's a toss-up. I didn't see the question, but yeah, I mean, I do like a lot of Golden State today. I like Booker tonight, must roster. I wouldn't say he's a must roster, but I do like him at his price. He's been very, very good offensively. So yeah, let's see. Trey Lyles sleepwalking the Spurs. I'm on him. I mean, he is really cheap. The issue is his minutes. What has he been getting? Yeah, like he'll play somewhere between 15 to 20. I guess I don't hate that idea. He's kind of in like the Dario Saric range, right? Where like if you're going way more stars than scrubs, you're trying to jam in like Kawhi and Jokic and like the guys at the top, and you already have Goodwin in there. Then I don't hate taking a shot there, but definitely the value play I like the most is Goodwin. Oh, and let me get to my core here for cash games really quick. Forgot about that. So this is probably how I would start my lineup here. We'll start with the Atlanta side. Again, I really like two pieces there. One being Brandon Goodwin at 3.1. I'll be eating the chalk there. The other one is John Collins with no Trae Young. I think his upside is just really high, so I do like John Collins a good amount as well. And then let's get to the Golden State guys, right? So I like D'Angelo Russell a good amount at 7K. We haven't heard anything of a minutes limit. I assume he probably gets close to 30, maybe a little bit more. And then you could really make an argument here for Draymond, for Spellman, or for Burks. Again, I like a lot of Golden State. You could argue take John Collins out and then just go completely Golden State. I'll throw Burks in there. But really, again, I like Spellman. I like Draymond Green too. So I think this is a pretty solid way to start your lineups. Again, if you don't want to go John Collins, that is okay. He would probably be the one guy I guess I would take out if you want to go more Golden State heavy and then try to jam in like Jokic and Kawhi. That is an option. But that's probably how I'm going to start, or at least for like a cash game core. I think that's pretty solid option there to start your lineups. Let's see. Lowry or Collins and cash? Good question. Again, I'm going to go Collins because with Pascal Siakam being back, that's less usage for Lowry. With Norman Powell being back, that's a little bit less usage as well. So, yeah, I'll go John Collins there. Warning, DK season in full effect. Agree, leaning towards Booker tonight. Jonas Valanciunas and Graham or Harrell and Rozier? That's a good question. I'll go JV and Graham. Booker or DeRozan? I'll go Booker there. Better matchup. Do you like Kyrie at 7,700 on FanDuel? I think he does. He is more viable there for sure on FanDuel. So, yeah, I would definitely consider him on FanDuel. And DK, I just can't do it at 9.4. So, no, similar to mine, minus Rozier and Graham. Crowder, not really for me. He will have an upside game every once in a while, but I like JV more. I like Morant and JJJ more. Biyombo or Boucher? Yeah, I got to go Biyombo there. Phoenix runs big, so I think Biyombo, this could be a game where he gets over 30 if he stays out of foul trouble. Let's see. Grant, Biyombo, or Gary Harris for GPP? Good question. I'll go Biyombo there for the price. I think Jeremy Grant's okay, but he's priced accordingly. Gary Harris is a very low usage guy, so I'll go Biyombo there. Is Dinwiddie viable? Nah, he's fringe. With Kyrie being back, it just really caps his upside. It's a really good spot. Again, I feel like I should have more interest on the net side. Kyrie coming back really takes a hit for a lot of guys there. That's a good-looking core right there. Thank you, man. 3 Warriors and cash? I think you can, for sure. Like I said, I'm really heavy on Golden State tonight. Hopefully, this is a game where we don't get screwed with like Steve Kerr coming out and like just playing everyone 25 minutes. We have seen that before. I feel like a couple weeks ago, I was pretty heavy on Golden State because the starters are playing consistent minutes, and then Steve Kerr randomly plays everyone like 25 minutes. Let's pray that doesn't happen tonight because I think if I'm expecting what should happen, I think the starters all get, low to mid 30s for minutes there. I'm going with Harrell and Kawhi for cash. Yeah, I mean, I like a lot of those Clippers guys as well. Is Jokic your favorite spend up tonight? I'll give the edge to Kawhi, but it's really close. I think Kawhi is a little bit more consistent, whereas Jokic a little bit more up and down. I'm the super fan from Twitter. Love this guy. Can't get enough. Hey, appreciate that, man. Thank you. Yeah, you're getting me really hyped for sure. KD or KI? Who are you talking about? KD. Wait, Graham or Ja for cash? I could fit either in my lineup. They're pretty similar to me. I guess I'll give the edge to Devontae Graham, who I think probably gets a little extra run, but that's a close one. That's really close. That's almost a coin flip for me. IRS and boys have won so much cash. Am I crazy to like LeVert still? No, I don't think you're crazy. I need to see him playing minutes closer to 30 a game. I think he can still get you there in 25 minutes for sure, but again, Kyrie coming back really is a big hit to everyone. My cash game lineup is Goodwin, D'Angelo Russell, Draymond Green, Spellman, Ayton, Graham, Kawhi, Rozier. No issue at all. Herder, Jarrett Allen for tiers. Yeah, Burks starting. Yes, I like Burks a lot. I think I like the upside a little bit more with Herder with no Trae Young, so I would go Herder there. I got Goodwin, D'Angelo Russell, Kawhi, Spellman, Harrell, Graham, Collins, and Allen. Yeah, that's no issue with that at all. 10,000 last week, 300 hits. Do you see any news if D'Angelo Russell is limited? I haven't. And, there's always a chance they still could limit him, but I think because it's a shoulder injury that he probably is good to go, and they probably, play him low 30s minutes. So, I'm slightly concerned, but I don't see anything. So my best guess is he's not going to be limited. Rozier or Ayton? If Ayton starts, I think I would give the edge to Ayton. If he comes on the bench, I think I would go Rozier. Jamal Murray, or what other guard would you want? I like Jamal Murray a lot. Other guards, again, I like the Golden State guys, D'Angelo Russell, Burks. Don't mind Lou Williams there. You got hype last night saying Jackson Hayes. I want to get here on camera, get Jackson Hayes season. Herder and Draymond, or Spellman and Graham? I think I like the upside a little bit more, Spellman and Graham. Lyles or Grant for a cheap power forward. We're talking about Jeremy Grant, right? So they're completely different prices. Right, because there's no other Grant. Yeah, he's 5.3. I'm not a big fan of him at 5.3K. I think he's priced right. So I guess go Lyles. Again, I'm not super excited about Lyles. I think the value really is Goodwin. That's your top value play. Besides Burks, Russell, and Goodwin. Okay, so besides Burks, Russell, and Goodwin, there's a lot of guards. I think Jamal Murray definitely is up there. I don't mind Booker if you can get to him. And then the Charlotte guards are okay. Rubio's okay. Lou Williams. I think. Good question. I think it would be. Next in my lineup would probably either be Jamal Murray or Lou Williams. If you have those three, I think it would be Jamal Murray or Lou Williams next, one of those two guys. Let's see, Glenn Robinson or Plumlee. I'll give the edge there to Glenn Robinson. Plumlee's not going to play as many minutes. Glenn Robinson should get over 30. So Lou Will or Murray or Oubre already have. Lou Will or Murray or Oubre already have Lou and Kawhi. Well, if you already have Lou and Kawhi, then I would probably go Jamal Murray there. Rozier, Booker, GR3, Ayton, Collins, Murray, Spellman, Goodwin, what I have currently. Yep, I don't really see an issue with that. Fading Kyrie, shoulder injury, but was out much longer than D'Lo. Yeah, I'm fading him, especially on Draftkings at 9.4. I just don't see a reason to play him. Who's the guy we getting the season tweet tonight? I'm all about on him. I think it's probably one of the Golden State guys. I'm big on Golden State. Hopefully, again, every once in a while we will have those nights where Steve Kerr just completely screws us and plays everyone like 25 minutes. Hopefully that's not one of these nights because I'm really high in Golden State. Spellman or Plumlee, I like the upside more. Spellman. DeRozan revenge season, that's true. If you're big into revenge, I'm fine with it. I just don't think he really stands out at his price. Thoughts on Alex Len? He's playable for sure. I definitely think Goodwin and Collins would be my preferred targets there for Atlanta, but I think Len and Kevin Huerter would be my next guys I would consider. So I'm fine with him for GPPs. Ayton, Graham, and Rozier, or Jokic, Graham, and Huerter. Graham and Rozier. I'm okay playing Graham and Rozier together. You just got to hope Charlotte keeps it close. So I guess, Ayton, Graham, and Rozier would probably be more of a GPP build because that's, again, 3 guys in one game, whereas Jokic, Graham, and Huerter, you're kind of spreading it out. So maybe Jokic, Graham, and Huerter for cash, even though it is kind of, again, fringe for Jokic cash. He's so up and down. Jamal Murray season. Yeah, I like Jamal Murray a lot at his price. I don't have him in my lineup right now, but it kind of scares me. I like him a lot. I guess I could always take like Alec Burks out of there and throw Jamal Murray in and then downgrade somewhere else. Yeah, but not. I don't know. It's a close call for sure with me with those guards. But yeah, we are 1 minute to lock, so I can go over ownership once we get to roster lock, and then I can get out of here. Can't make it up, DK. It's great. What are we looking like for tomorrow? Usually Monday's a pretty good slate. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's like a perfect size slate. Yeah, there's some interesting games. No game really stands out to me. I guess probably that Pistons-Pelicans game would be the game I probably have the most interest, just looking at tomorrow's slate. But yeah, I'll have that video up later tonight, guys. So be on the lookout for that. GL, guys, so are you going to be tweeting all this if you don't get hype about all this? Decent slate tomorrow. Yeah, I think it's a pretty good slate for sure. Okay, let's get to some ownership here. Ooh, I snuck into the cash in the early slate. Bam was kind of the one letdown for me, but I had Moutier, Clarkson, Ingles, Randall, Gobert, Jimmy Butler, Myers, Leonard, if you guys are curious. What's going on in the football game? Oh, wow, 40, is that 48 or 46? Crazy, because I did stack the Texans-Chiefs game. Yeah, it's looking pretty decent. All right, let me go over ownership here. And then, hey, DK, if Alec Burks hits chalk tonight, dinner's on me, man. All right, fair enough. Okay, let's look at some ownership here. So, in the $44 tournament, we're looking at Brandon Goodwin, 84%. Again, I didn't see myself getting away from him at that price. D'Angelo Russell, 40%. I like that. Draymond Green, 56%. John Collins, 62%. JV, 8% owned. That's where my money lies on him. I know he's up and down, but at that price point, I think he stood out as a pretty good play. And Alec Burks at 29%. So looks like Burks and JV are key to me right now for these early games. Let's see. Finish with 295 on the early slate. Pretty nice. Yeah, what did I finish with? I'm at 292 right now. I believe that game, the other game ends Miami, New York. Oh, New York is winning right now. Wow. That game, I guess, could go to overtime. But, yeah, okay. I am going to hop out of here, guys. Again, if you don't follow me on Twitter, it's important. That is in the description below. But, yeah, I'll have my video up for tomorrow's slate later tonight. Be on the lookout for that. Thanks again for everyone to come and check the live stream. Good luck tonight. Hopefully you guys win some money, and I will see you guys tomorrow.